Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, look no further than the Potown store. You can even use OmniPoke for an extra 5% discount as you take your order. Looking at today's video though, I do have a few things of housekeeping before we jump into the list itself that I'm going to be profiling today. I haven't done a video in about a week, and I do apologise for that. I've had a combination of things working on in the background, as well as a bit of sort of creative block right now. I am practicing for the Cologne Regionals coming up, so I have just been sort of locked into some of the more top tier decks right now. But the next few videos are going to be of some of the more fun rogue things that we can be looking at and exploring in this format to try and get some nice wins under our belt here and there. So expect a few more, lower tier archetypes over the next few days. Also, I'm working on some new cube content, which I know a handful of people are pretty interested in. So that should be very exciting. I also have a Q&A coming up this week, so you can go ahead and check out the OmniPoke Facebook page, and there is a thread there where you can just go ahead and pop your questions down below if you have any for me. But here is today's video. We're going to be looking at Chandelure. It's one of these archetypes that was played by one solitary soul out there in Worlds, and has gained a bit of popularity just by being pretty much like the only successful Stage 2 deck available right now. And that's because he's a cheater. You can evolve a Lampent straight into a Chandelure thanks to Dusk Stone, so we can attack on turn 2 quite often. And from there, with the Spirit Burner attack, you get even more of these evolution Pokemon into play. That's why you're seeing such strange Pokemon lines here. We have a bunch of Stage 2s and Stage 1s without their evolutions. That's because we cheat them into play with the Chandelure. That is the whole idea around the deck. Let's have a look in a bit more detail. Quick note on the Litwick. It does have the Find a Friend attack. It allows you to search your deck for a fire Pokemon and put it straight into your hand. This is really important actually, because you are you're really trying to get the Lampent and the Dusk Stone combo so you can attack with a Chandelure on turn 2. We don't play rare candies here. We just try and use the Dusk Stone to cheat our way up to the Chandelure instead. And sometimes finding a friend is a perfect way to do that. So basically turn 1, you try and get 2 Litwicks down. Turn 2, you Lampent, Dusk Stone, and hope that Chandelure gets you into a bunch of Pokemon. That's basically the method here, as my phone falls on the floor. We do have a Lampent. It can do 40 for 1. This isn't actually that bad. There are spots where you might use this, especially with the modifiers that we have from Delphox and Incineroar. This can finish things off if Spirit Burner hasn't quite done the trick. But this is the main attack that we have going for us here. Chandelure, a 140 hit point Stage 2, with that Spirit Burner attack doing 10 base for 1 fire. But you discard the top 5 cards of your deck, and you do 60 more for each Pokemon you discarded in this way. And then put any number of the fire Pokemon you discarded onto your bench. That's why we have a bunch of these fire types. As we know, fire is like a blessed type in the format right now, mainly because of Welder, but also because of Ninetales. And we're going to try and abuse that in this archetype, and try and get some big up trades with Spirit Burner, getting backup attackers on the board, as well as some great abilities that we can put into play as well. So this is a really phenomenal attack that we have access to. From there, our main sort of like backup attacker is Charizard. We have the Team Up Charizard. Using that Roaring Resolve, once during a turn, you may put 2 counters on this guy, search your deck for 2 fire, and attach them to this Pokemon. This is like awesome for so many reasons. You can power up backup attackers while you swing in the active with Chandelures. You have guaranteed damage output with the Charizard, so there are times when you can't take the risk on the Chandelure and you can just go into the Charizard instead. You can stack up damage because you can Roaring Resolve and then Roaring Resolve again the following turn, and then you do huge damage with Continuous Blaze Ball, which is awesome. And at the same time, it's just giving us more outs to finding like attackers. So once we use one Chandelure, we don't just lose instantly. We're hopefully trying to find, the 4 Charizards themselves and the 3 other Chandelures that should be in the deck, as long as they're not prized, as outs to discard off the top of our deck, so we can start getting some attacks in. So this guy really is important for us. Continuous Blaze Ball, discarding all fire attached to him, and you do 50 more for each you discarded. So you have the Roaring Resolve instantly getting you that attack cost, so you effectively have a base of 130, and then manual attachments on top of that. We have Blaziken on top of that as well. Gets really, really dangerous, and it can definitely help us do things like gust up the Denes and knock them out that way, just with our manual attachment for turn as well. So that can be a really nice play that we have available. Also, of course, Roaring Resolve is thinning the deck of non-Pokemon targets to make our stats way better on future Chandelure attacks, which is awesome. So Charizard is pretty much the perfect partner that we have available here. We do have those 2 Blazikens. I'll just mention him as I was talking about him for the Charizard damage output. Firestarter allows you to attach a energy from your discard to one of your bench Pokemon. So as we Roaring Resolve on the back, we're also going to try and use Fire Starter as well to power up these Charizards even more, so they get absolutely stacked and can start slamming huge numbers into people, which is pretty awesome. So 2 copies of that guy. We rarely ever get to Fire Stream, it's not really that relevant. Then we have our 2 damage modifiers. We have the Delphox with the Mystical Torch ability. Once during a turn, you may leave your opponent's active burned, so that's instantly a plus 20 damage. And, you know, obviously if they stay burned, that can be even more damage for you, which is awesome. And then 1 copy of the Strong Cheer Incineroar. Your Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active. So I don't really like doubling up on any of these abilities because they don't stack. But I feel like having 1 copy of each is nice because it can mean that sometimes, you know, your Charizard is taking knockouts that much easier. Now just doing the Roaring Resolve with a Strong Cheer in play means that you could gust up and knock out Dedennes and stuff, which is awesome. And it just sometimes makes your Spirit Burner 1 less Pokemon that you need in order to take knockouts, which is pretty great as well. So we have 1 copy of each of those. 1 copy of Salazzle. It's kind of cute, but I do like having the option to Roast Reveal, especially against some certain matchups. If you know that they're going to be Stamp heavy or Judge heavy, trying to get that Salazzle into play is pretty nice. I think it's just worth having the option. It's even just 1 copy, and there will be times where you do Spirit Burner it away, and then you have to have a big think of like, do I actually need this on my board, or do I want this to be, you know, a Ninetales instead, or a Charizard instead? Of course, the Chandelure chooses those targets. You're not forced to put them into play instantly, so if you get a bunch of Litwicks, you can leave them in the discard pile. And then you can like Brock them back into the deck for better stats for your next Spirit Burner, for example. So the 1 Salazzle, you know, it'll come into play sometimes, especially if your hand is kind of weaker. It can get you into like way more outs to draw good again. So that's a pretty nice card to have in here. It's just a 1 copy that also like buffs our Pokemon count up to 23 to again all help with the Spirit Burner stats. Then we're going to have 2 copies of Ninetales. Nine Temptations is such a powerful ability, and being able to take advantage of it is just phenomenal. You can discard 2 fire from hand if you do switch one of your opponent's bench with the active. Now, we don't have guaranteed damage output with Chandelure, but we can definitely choose to pick off targets if we've powered up things like Charizard in the back. And at the same time, if you're not expecting Chandelure to do that much, you can then just try and take easy individual prizes with Nine Temptations bringing up, you know, Malamars, Inkays, Jirachis, other evolving basics, opposing like Ninetales and stuff like that. So it just sort of makes the odds more in your favor, makes you hit less Pokemon sometimes, which is pretty awesome. And obviously, if you're going to be like 2-shotting into things, you can bring them back up with Ninetales, which is pretty good as well. So really nice for your prize trade, especially when the Charizards are actually in play, because you can just guarantee knockouts onto Dedennes really, really easily. We have Giant Hearth Synergy, and many other decks give us Giant Hearth Synergy as well. We have Brock recycling those fires often for us, so you can try and use this 2 or 3 times if everything goes well and you find the Ninetales early, which is sweet. Onto the trainers, everything is just trying to make this happen. Essentially, we are trying to be quite the high roll deck. We're trying to get initially the stage 2 into play, cheating him out of Dusk Stone, and then we just want to have the highest odds possible for us to be able to discard Pokemon from the top of our deck. So we just have the essentials here. We have the 4 Dusk Stone, which means we can go Lampent immediately into Chandelure. We have the 4 Pokégears, so that we can get towards Bills and Greens on those opening turns, as well as Brock in the sort of mid-game. 4 Pokémon, obviously, there's no better ball search for non-GXs right now, and Pokémon is basically always alive for us because we have so many Pokemon in the deck. 3 Giant Hearth, it obviously thins. It's also a Bills and Green searchable means of getting energy cards so that we can go for that Spirit Burner. It gets us rolling with Nine Temptations, it gets us more manual attachments for Roaring Resolve and stuff like that. So yeah, overall the Hearth is a fantastic stadium for us. Then we have the 4 Bills, not quite as good as Greens, but it's just more copies of this card so we don't just die on turn 1 because we just have 4 copies of Litwick. That is very risky. You need to make sure that you can get yourself towards a Pokémon basically most of the time. 4 Brocks. Brock is really important to recycle Pokemon as well as energies. Obviously, as Chandelures go down, you can then Brock back in 3 more Pokemon, which then gives you way better odds for Spirit Burner, which is awesome. And like I said, using Nine Temptations, using all these Roaring Resolves and stuff, does take its toll on energies, so sometimes Brock will be trying to get those back in as well. And 4 copies of Greens. Obviously, we have a bunch of abilities, but they're all available once we've used our initial Spirit Burner. So Green is phenomenal on the first 2 turns, so that we can get towards Spirit Burner, and then the rest should will go well for us as long as we don't whiff off of the initial Spirit Burner. So this is definitely a fragile archetype. The opening turns are sketchy, but if Spirit Burner comes off early, it really does start snowballing out of control for the opponent, and it is definitely a very fun non-GX build. So let's jump into the ladder and see how we can roll with Chandelure. I think definitely one of the more strong budget decks out there as well right now. No Jirachi's required. No Dedenes required. No custom catchers either. So it makes it very unique. I know Ninetales is becoming a more expensive card because of its like relevance in the format, but I think it's definitely on the more budget side, which is also a big thing going for the deck. A lot of fun, easy to play, more or less, and budget worthy, which is awesome. It's another video that I've got going on in the background right now, a budget decks video. One of those things that I like to bring out maybe every format or so. I honestly don't do that video enough, to be honest, but I'll try and get one of those done soon as well. It's weird, I've had a lot of like prep work going on, not a lot of like on-screen action over the last week, but I've been doing a lot in the background, and I've been streaming most days as well, so don't forget to catch the stream. Alright. We give our opponent a couple mulls. Looks like they're playing a fellow non-GX deck in Spiritomb, which is a pretty scary concept. Whenever you're up against another non-GX, life does get a bit scary. We are able to Pokégear for a green though, which is awesome. Now we can go ahead and grab ourselves Com and another green. That means that we can Com away this Chandelure. Go ahead and grab ourselves. Actually, is it better for me to? Yeah, we'll Com in Chandelure. And then next turn we can go Dusk Stone Com off of this next greens. Easy. Whenever you have a greens, it's always a pretty easy thing to do. You just basically grab Com greens every time, more or less, and then you're guaranteed, based on like what other things you have in your hand, of course, but this is usually all you need to do. We can choose to attach because we have multiple. We obviously can't use Find a Friend. I may attach to the bench though. It does thin our hand around random stamps. Spiritomb's not really known for playing Reset Stamp, but it's definitely not out of their range. So we'll go for that. In terms of damage output, this should not be a difficult matchup. It's just we kind of need to be the one firing first. They can take the initial prize on us if they're able to find themselves something like Rainbow Energy early on. That's definitely going to be their priority. If they can get a switch card and a Rainbow, they can take the incentive here and take the first knockout on our active. Otherwise, we might be able to just race effectively. Spiritombs with very low hit points. The Stellar Wish does get them the board. Let's see if they have Rainbow to boot. They Pokégeared for a bunch of supporter cards, so they've at least got options in that regard. Yep, they got the Rainbow, so they can come in and swing. The next question is, what do they have beyond this? Because sure, they can knock out Litwick, but do they have anything else? The Ultra Beast things usually start from, 4 prizes rather than 5. So they're going to Cynthia. They're looking for probably just more Spiritombs here. And they're going to Pokecom. They're actually going to put in a Spiritomb. Maybe to get them some draw. Ah, okay, they're playing Frostlass, so that's definitely going to be powerful for them. We can't really punish Frostlass in any way. We don't play Mew or anything like that. So looks like they've got the initial prize here, and as long as they can keep finding, their stage 1s and whatnot, they should be in good shape. But we got to make them have it. We got to make them go through the motions. We got to go ahead and, oops, green is being slow, but there it is. We get to do the Pokémon Dusk Stone combo, and technically we could lose if we miss everything off Spirit Burner, but we shouldn't lose. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Pokemon in here. That's a lot of Pokemon. Alright. We obviously only need 1 to knock out the Spiritomb. And we hit more than 1. We hit 2. And they're both attackers as well, which is pretty much the dream. Any Lampent, any Chandelure, any Charizard, those are all fantastic things to Spirit Burner, especially in those opening stages. Alright, we get that initial prize. Opponent. There's no reason to not promote their Jirachi here. They can try and Stello-ish and work towards more Pokecoms, more Rainbows. They might even play Unit Energies for their Frostlass. We'll see. Again, it's about making them have everything. Looks like they actually have the fan club here, so I imagine that means they already have energy in hand. Otherwise, they would probably Stello-ish and hedge for a better supporter. Let's see what we discarded. We discard 2 Brocks. So I was going to say the Brocks are the thing that you have to keep an eye on the most. So next turn's Bill's analysis might be if we could pick out any Brock or any Pokégear, we might try and have to do that because we've got to protect those Brocks. Otherwise, you can deck out, especially against non-GX decks. It gets very spooky. Alright, they're going to build some Spite in the back. Stello-ish coming in. That's going to grab them a Hustle Belt. Let's see if they have another Rainbow. They're going to belt up a Spiritomb. Yep, they got the Rainbow in hand. Runner Rainbows is a pretty good start for them, really. And they can Spiteful Sigh. Obviously we have weakness on them, so he doesn't have to commit too much, but it's still 1 Spirit Burner Pokemon away. And I still want to use Spirit Burner here, even though Charizard's guaranteed. We want to develop the board more. Chandelure, or sorry, Lampent, not a great draw. Let's see if we can salvage anything here. We can Hearth. We can Wrong Resolve first. So we still have 2 Brocks in the deck. A lot of Pokemon in the deck now as well. Our stats just get better and better with this deck in terms of how much Spirit Burner damage we can do. Small concern of Brocks hitting the bin here, but oh man, 1 did hit the bin. But we hit a huge number of Pokemon. 3 is loads. We can slow build up another Chandelure here if we want to. Don't think we need to, though. Don't think we need to. Oh boy, 3 Brocks. That's rough. It's one of these matchups where attacking with Lampent is actually probably really good in our late game. Maybe I should have just put the Litwick down for that purpose. Protect around us losing our final Brock. They have Black Market. That's a big, scary card for us to see. We've played one of our stadiums. We haven't binned any others, which is a little fortunate right now. We have no control over these things. But we'll see. The opponent is going to do his Spite building in the back. And they're going to Lily for 5 cards. Damage isn't looking great right now. Spiritomb is another one of these decks that I'll be trying to profile in the next week or so. Definitely a rogue that's seeing a bit more play. Sketchy against a few things like Espeon Deoxys, Malamar in general. But it can take some good wins here and there, especially with the Frostlass. I'm just going to com for a Nihilego. They're going to try and confuse us here. Buy themselves some time. Chandelure with a 2 retreat cost. Fortunately, we have got a Charizard already. Let's see, they're going to Stellar-Wish. For an Adventure Bag. I don't think that helps them too much. Helps thin the deck a little, but... There's another belt and board. Have they got the Frostlass to back it up? Because they Pokécon for not Frostlass, I imagine they don't. They need another Rainbow if they want to activate Hustle Belt and get a knockout on us. Already played 2. They've played their Lily. They've... Looks like they're just contemplating what they can do here, what position they can put themselves in. Not many good spots for them here, though. The Nihilego may have just been a sacrificial pawn here. Okay, looks like he's going to let the timer run out on him. So we get a Pokégear option to try and pull out our final Brock. That's definitely the priority here. Green's an unplayable, but we'll still make our bills stronger. I can... missequenced my Pokégear, that's my bad. Well, at least we can counter Stadium. So basically 1 in 3 times we lose our final Brock here and things get a little bit hairy. We are able to grab another Zard. Ninetales looks fine here. Did we lose our last Brock? No. Okay, good. 3 Litwicks gone. Okay. Deck is looking very thin. Bill's next turn, very high odds of getting us a Brock, though, to protect it from Spirit Burner. We have attackers all over the board right now, ready to rumble. Opponent's going to board up their Nihilego. Hustle Belt to the Frostlass. Gonna say Cynthia. They need a fresh hand for sure. They need energies. They can obviously do more building spite and any energy. Oh, okay, they missed. Okay. So, we're able to out-consistency the Spiritomb deck, I guess. They did find the early rainbows, but they weren't able to keep up that tempo. Let's see what else we can come up against with our deck. We do have a damage cap of 310 with Chandelure. That's if we do hit the high 5. That's what I've called the deck. Just just in case. Our hand is looking pretty bad right now. We are dying for a Pokémon. We're going first, which may be good depending on what we're up against. It means we could also get donked if we are not able to draw a good card. Good cards being 4 Com, 4 Green, 4 Bill, 4 Gears. Okay, we draw a blank basically, but they're an evolution deck by the looks of things, which is great news for us, so we'll just pass. It gives us one more top deck. Maybe. Ditto doesn't scream to me that they're a Welder deck. Looks like it's Malabar. Excuse me. Another non-GX deck. This is a much more difficult non-GX deck because they have more spread damage available. And more hit points on their Giratina. We need to hit 2 Pokemon each time with Spirit Burner because of our base output. Oh, they are a red deck. Maybe they're Turbo Turtles? Turtle Nag? Or maybe it's just a regular Charizard playing a Ditto for potential Zeb Striker to help out against bird control. Pokégears as well as Jirachis. I'm really not sure what's going on here, what sort of deck they're playing. We'll have to see. Let's see a Stellar Wish no matter what. They're going to grab a Hearth. That's got to be a good card for them. Can help thin the deck for us, but we're still living on 1 top deck. Again, 3 Litwick, 4 Com, 4 Green, 4 Bill, 4 Gear. And we now have the Lampents as outs as well. So the deck is working for us basically. It's on our side. As long as we survive a turn, we have very good draws to get us back into this. Alright, let's see it. Nice. We're alive. We're more than alive. We're attacking. Com was probably the best outcome we could hope for there. Other than the physical Lampent. But the Com's actually better than the physical Lampent because we get to put a Pokemon back in the deck. So that's the dream. We've prized... Oh no, we have the Brox in our hand this time. So that's not going to be the problem. The Brox are here for us. So we don't have to worry about that. We can go guns blazing. Looks like we are up against a Turbo Turtle deck. Their damage output is insane. But again, in non-Jax matchups, if you just take the first swing, you're normally in good shape. We definitely don't lack damage output as long as we don't get huge whiffs. And that is the opposite of a whiff. It's actually not that great for us, but we are able to take a prize here. We have to put the Litwick into play here just because we have no other options, and this opens up us finding Chandelure, Dusk Stone. We actually binned 2 good cards as well in the Com and the Dusk Stone, so a little bit unfortunate there. But what can you do? Oh, they give us Heat Factory. Amazing. That's amazing for us. That really opens up our odds. They're still looking for Welder by the looks of things. They whiffed it off of the Gear and the Stellar Wish. Yep, looks like they missed Welder. Insane. Okay. Definitely dodged a bullet there. If they could Turtle knockout there with a Welder, we were probably in rough shape. We needed to get the Heat Factory to get us into some good cards there. Lampent plus like Bill for the Dust Stone or something like that. The greens were working against us because of the Blaziken that we put into play. Potentially it was wrong to put the Blaziken in. Nah, we probably get donked if I don't. Yeah, okay. It did hurt 4 of our outs though for finding our next lamp. Let's get another game in with Candles. They've been quick so far. We've had some concessions in non-GX matchups. Alright. It's one of these hands where if we can survive a turn, it's great. We have Dusk Lamp. We'd love another Litwick. Again, let's talk about those outs that we need to hit off the top here. We can thin with a Hearth, I guess, but looks we're up against another evolution deck. This could be Blounds. Blounds certainly can donk. It's in their repertoire. They play Welder. And they can do it over 2 turns with Mind Blown anyway. They're going to attach to the active and Cynthia. Cynthia isn't Welder, which is good. They also don't have any fires in the discard pile just yet. They could also donk us with a Naga. Just charge up attach next turn. If they are able to get a fire in the discard. Scary stuff. Like I said, those opening turns really are sketch. If you can get through those... Oh my god, we've done it. PogChamp. Okay, we're alive. I think we got to put a Tails in the back in the deck here. We don't really need Blaziken to be pushing the Zard numbers too much as we would like to pick off like the Denes and stuff. Alright, all the Zards are here. 9 energies to play with. I think we can Hearth quite happily here. Gonna Hearth away Blaze. No, we're not. No. We're gonna get rid of a fire. I was thinking like we make our Brocks better, but we make our comms better if we keep the Blaziken here. I can thin a Pokemon out the deck. How does that sound? Sounds like we would draw towards better stuff, but it hurts our Spirit Burner odds. So I guess we just slam an energy on the back and pass. Giving our opponent half does open up Welder opportunities for them a little bit more than previously. Looks like they're going to take the option to throw away a fire for 2 more. Also opens up Naga now a lot easier for them. Again, we'd have to hit 2 Pokemon off the top 5 to knock out a Naganadel. If we do, though, we're in pretty good shape. If he commits all 3 energies to the active and we're able to response knock it out, he would need to hit Welders, otherwise he's in a lot of trouble. Depending on what else he can do this turn. Okay, they can treasure. Getting rid of a custom. Gotta get that backup Poipole on the go. And they have Cynthia. Okay, their hand's pretty fine. They can go for this charging up now. And they're going to turning point for the 80. Alright, well, we're not in too bad a shape. Brock's a good pickup. We'll keep thinning with the goal of hitting 2 Pokemon here. That's the name of the game. Charizards, Chandelures, Lampents, all good. Any of the other Pokemon? Salazzle, it's a great one for us now. It doesn't go very far. Let's see it. Well, we hit 2. One of them's an attacker. It's not Chandelure though, so we are in a bit of a pickle. Obviously they need to hit Welder here for us to be in a lot of trouble, but... They did Cynthia a couple times. Missed Welder thus far. We'll see if they can get it this time around. That's a Heatran. Nice shiny Heatran. Looks like they're going to try and Dead-A change towards Welder by the looks of things. Missing it thus far. Getting rid of 3 customs. They can always burst. They can always bursting burn, but they're really hunting Welder. Which is definitely correct. They're going to attach. They're going to charge up. No sign of Welder. Are we going to get lucky? Cynthia is not Welder. Very good. Very good indeed. Making treasure. Getting rid of a lily for another Poiple. I wonder if they'll try and tempo burst or if they'll go for the bursting burn to make us... Okay, they're going to bursting burn. Bursting burn's a bit of a worse play when you actually have the Charizard up and the Ninetales up. I think it's only bad for exactly me having this board state. Otherwise I think it's the correct move, but we can definitely punish this. I think I want to Brock here. Actually, no, I don't. I want to Bill so I can find more comms. So we need to pay retreat. We need to Ninetales up this for the Blaze Ball knockout. So what do I need? What do I get punished by? He can't custom anymore. He can't B-string instantly to Naga GX this out the way. So I guess the Chandelure's safe in the back. I guess I still Bill. Okay. More Bills is good. I think the Dust Stone's better than the gear here. Just for if ever I need to like Spirit Burner out a Lampent and I can just Dust Stone it. Alright, Naga number 2 going down. We're staying ahead in the race. Try and make him go through the Zard so we have another chance with the Chandelure. We'll also be able to Brock back in 3 Pokemon, 3 energy. Finally they hit Welder. They really were whiffing on that for a while. They start their turn with it this time. They obviously have B-strings live as well. We are a pretty chunky non-GX deck, so it does force a lot out of the Bucephalon players. Dealing with these nags will take its toll. Seeing as though there's already 6 energy in the discard pile. Yeah, no B-strings. That's rough. We can actually do a cute play by binning off this Charizard that we've just drawn with a Hearth, just to make the Brock give us more Pokemon. We need 3 to go. And we really need attackers, so I guess we have to go for this play. The only thing is we are running very low on energies. You know, we played 10, right? And there's 9 here. Maybe I should just go 3 and 3. I guess I still could go 3 and 3 by bidding the Charizard first, but I could do the Brock, then get the energies out afterwards. That's probably stronger. Okay. Let's do this. Get the energies back. And we're just going to swing here. Looking for 3 Pokemon. Ooh, a complete brick. That is horrible. That is completely awful. The game has now spiraled out of our control. From one big miss. We hit 2 of our Brocks there as well. I could not think of a worse 5 cards to hit our discard pile there. That's pretty gross. Now they're definitely going to be capitalising on us. They'll be able to take 2 prizes at least before we can get our next Chandelure up. So then we would need our Chandelure to take 2 prize knockouts. No questions asked. Which is asking a lot. Blaziken is one of our easiest damage outputs to hit for a GX. But still, this is going to ask a lot of us. They're able to get value from their Beast Energy as well. Save 1 energy, which is nice. Always Pokemon afterwards. Yep, that's not going to cut it for us at all. That is not going to cut it. It looks like we're going to lose here. Is there any way he runs out of energy cards? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? No, there's no way. I guess I can try and bring up Heatran and try. How many Welders has he played? 2. Alright, we'll try and buy a turn. We'll get rid of this. We'll thin our last fire. We'll try and pull a supporter out. Oh my god. Like, oh, look how good that Spirit Burner would have been. Insane. Alright, looks like we've got to pass. We're basically just a Welder steaming stomp away from being knocked out. They have 5 cards left in their deck though. 2 Welders played. So they halved away a Hapu there rather than played Hapu. Obviously. I mean, basically, they can win in 2 manual attachments if Bill's bricks for us again next turn. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah, he's gonna hearth for 1 fire. It's got to go active, right? I mean, he can still just Welder 1 and draw into the other and manually attach or whatever. But the fact that he only got 1 fire out might be good for us. Ultra Spaces for nothing. Does get that attach in. Wisely passes it over. Green is no good, so we got a Bill here. Alright, we're technically alive. Very, very technically. Emphasis on the word technical. We're still in top deck mode now though. Still in top deck mode for sure. There's the attachment. So they can go for that hot burn. And they're going to. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, I guess our only hope is that they've... Oh wait, we have greens. I forgot we had greens available. Amazing. We have no more comms though. So I can only greens for more greens and bills. Just to thin the deck towards Pokemon. And I guess we just find a friend and hope that he's priced to last energy. I guess that's the plan, boys. Well, charge up isn't instantly me losing. You think we won, boys? You think we did it, right? I think we did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. I guess we did it. We can do the Dusk Stone just to not lose to him having 1 energy. We don't just lose to a Steaming Stomp now. We can basically thin every Pokemon, or every non-Pokemon out the deck. And just pass. More charge ups. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, I can win in so many ways now. How many shuffle draw cards does he have? 3 Cynthia played. I mean, I guess he's just out. What's the fear in me swinging? If I swing, I definitely take a knockout, 100%. I mean, I could just swing. We'd basically always get our next Chandelure on board. How would I lose? I can always Brock back in more stuff to not get stalled myself. But I don't see how I lose this way, outside of energy switch. Sure, we'll swing. Just want to get that big high five going. There you go, there's the 300. How bizarre. Yeah, so there's his last shuffle draw, but it looks like he's almost certainly out of energy cards. Reset stamp coming in now. Gonna charge up. Turning point for 80. Alright. Let's power this next one up. Of our deck now, we have 3, 4, 5, 6 Pokemon. have to get 3 Charizards. Also won the 50-50 and dodged the Brock's Grit. I mean, he decks out before us anyways, but... looks like over the next few turns he will just be announcing Bursting Burn. No longer burned is actually a big flip for us. That really helps. The Brock's actually amazing. Does Brock just guarantee us game? No, because we don't have the stadium. So we want to do this. Get on the Zard. We want to just get a bunch of energies back, right? That's all I need to do. Get 6 energies back, Roaring Resolve, and then draw into an energy to win. I guess I shouldn't even Roaring Resolve, I should just chill with the fires, because I have more draws that way. He's probably out of turns to win anyways, because I flipped heads on burn. Okay. That'll do it. That will do it. Pretty sure I took too many risks there. I just wanted to go boom one time with the Chandelure, you know? When your deck is all Pokemon, you just want to do that. We definitely should have just passed into the Heatran though for the rest of the game. Too fun though. Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in risking? I was also pretty sure that he probably would have reset stamped me earlier, but that's fine. We gambled when we didn't have to, but that's why I make content. I mean, the deck's called High Five. What are we doing if we're not swinging for 310 here, you know? When it's basically guaranteed. Or it was guaranteed, right? Yeah, we'll start. We'll get our last game in today. Would have been a stellar hand. Basically, whenever you see a greens, you're happy. Hey look, we have 2 greens. We're very happy. We already have the Lampent. So we can just, yeah, there you go. Take some mulligans, bud. Looks like they started a dead end. Looks like we're up against another Blacephalon. Okay. Alright, surviving that huge whiff was pretty sweet. Let's see if we can not whiff this game. That would be even better than surviving a big whiff. We'll make the standard plays. Not going to get too fancy. Them starting a Dedenne really helps us out. He's got pretty high odds of having a Welder turn 1 though, so he could be mind-blowing on 1 here. He could pay retreat Welder the bench. A good amount of times, I imagine. If he can't, then he's in horrible shape. We'll see. Then the kickoff with a treasure. They started the turn with a 16 card hand. They're able to bin a fire, grab a Poipole, attach to the bench, Ultra Space. You can grab Poipole. So the army is going to be here. The good news is that we're a tanky enough non-GX deck that things like Nagas and stuff don't phase us so much. Yeah, no Welder. Insane. That's so good for us. We can grab our Candle. And I think I just greens for double Brock here. I guess I could go Brock Hearth. Yeah, Brock Hearth is probably stronger. It means that the Brock is safe and guaranteed. The Hearth gets 2 more energies out of the deck to improve these Spirit Burner odds. Delphox not all that important. This can happen. And let's see it. Let's see the big 3. Just 2. Not enough, but they're both attackers at least. That's the good news. Gives our opponent a chance to get their Welder the second time of asking. They've also got a Hearth now that can throw away some energies for them. They're able to bounce Stadium with a space. They're going to grab their Dragon Naga to start drawing some cards. They're going to grab another Dragon Naga. They really want to draw cards. Looks like they're trying to work towards this Welder, or they're going to bin one. No, they're going to bin the baby. It is super important for them to find Welder here. Otherwise, they're really behind. Bursting Burn always an option for them though if they want to. Just doesn't feel great. Treasuring away more fires. Gonna grab another Nag that they can just pitch with Ultra Conversion. Their hand is stacked right now. There's the Welder finally. A lot of fires in their bin. They can start charging up, making use out of that. There's the energy to Dedenne. So they can get on out of there and hit us with that. Oh wow, they're going to customs. Don't really know why they'd custom the Zard here. I think the Chandelure is actually more of a threat. The Zard is capped. The Chandelure can just bop you. I guess the Roaring Resolve does make my stats way better. Thins the deck. I think that was a bit of an overextension though, personally. So we can try and bill and pull some cards out of the deck, or I can Brock and put some back in. I think it's got to be the bills here. That looks great. The Pokégear can pull an extra card out. The green is only ever 1 card. This could be an extra. And it's a useful card. We'll definitely attach to the back because it protects around confusion plays and such. And we can try and hit 3 Pokemon again. Just the 2 again. Both big boy candles though, we love to see that. Now we're not worried about attackers at all. That is not a concern. They are here to stay. This is the built-up Chandelure as well, so when this goes down, we'll get 5 Pokemon back into the deck. We'll have really good odds of just smacking through GX Pokemon from here on out, basically. So although we're a little behind right now, because they started their Dedenne, we're not as behind as we could be. We can still definitely win in 3 attacks. next turn we're basically guaranteed. Basically, just need one Pokemon. We've got 2 Brocks in our hand, so that's not a concern. They're not close enough to the turning point turn yet, so they have to attack with GXs for the next 2 turns. So as long as Chandelure can get us towards Ninetales in the next 2 turns, we should be more or less set to just win. Even a Lampent couldn't finish off their damage to Dene. Now, why is he going to attach to the Naga as well, the Psychic Energy? That's one thing they can do to remove our Ninetales. They're actually going to burst here. Okay. Alrighty. So again, we're in that same spot where we could pull 2, or put 2 back into the deck, or we could try and pull more out with the bill. I always like digging deeper. This seems really good. We don't really need the comm. We can keep trying to dig. We're just trying to thin the deck as much as we can towards these red Pokemon. Continuing to attach seems fine to me. It's not like we would pay retreat into this anyways, if he was going to go for a burn play next turn. Plus, his hand is Mahusive and Beast Rings will be live, so he'll definitely be taking a knockout no matter what, right? Alright, let's do it. Alright, I saw a Ninetales there. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll just present that threat saying we will be taking 2 prizes all the time. Giant Hearth's a big pickup as well. Dusk Stone, not too shabby. All looking pretty good for us here. Some slow Spirit Boners, but it's been the right stuff. It's not been a lot of them, but it's just been the right stuff enough times for us to be in good shape. Beast Ring coming to the active. They can attach. They can knock out the Ninetales this turn. So their route is to go knock out Okay, Reset Stamp as well really helps them. If they knock out the Ninetales this turn, even if their big guy goes down, they'll try and use the Turning Point 3 prize turn, skew our prize exchange. I can't believe they scooped there. Why would they concede there? So weird. They could definitely have won. We have such RNG based attacks. There's no reason why he should have scooped there. Oh well. Candles doing shenanigans, I guess. We won in some strange circumstances, beat some other non-GX decks just by out-consistencying them. And apparently this deck has a reasonable Blounds matchup. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about Chandelure. How have you been playing it? Are there any other fire stage 1s and 2s that you've been adding into the mix? Is there any other sort of supporter lines that people are running with? I think the Bills, Greens, Brocks is like the most standard way, but there might be some other things to consider as well. I'll hear it all down below. Thanks for watching though, guys, and I'll see you in another video tomorrow. Cheers.